son of God, how do you feel that your dad played a huge role into you understanding being a man of God? Because I know you're still learning, I know, but
Oh
we're
yeah.
always learning. We're all going to be learning. So, what do
Yeah.
you feel what implemented or what helped you along the journey, sir?
So I'll say this because I think this is an interesting thing. So the name of this episode is Successful Son in Business, right?
Yes.
I personally would not say I am a successful son in business. I think that I'm in the process of that. But my favorite thing, can I ask you a question before I answer this?
I would love it. Let's do it. Let's do
Okay.
it. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
you ready?
Yeah.
What would you say or define the word success? What does that mean
For me or for you, just so I'm
for
clear.
you?
Okay.
What does success mean?
Okay, success to me means job well done, my good and faithful servant. It means I have done all that God has called me to do in his eyesight, within his will, that is
Right.
honoring him. That's
Yeah.
for me. That's what it
Yeah.
represents to me. When I
Yeah.
hear that and I have that one-on-one appointment podcast, if you may, right, with the Lord, hearing him say that, oh, that's success to me. Because that
Okay.
clearly represents that I have done everything within my entire being. My soul is literally honoring God. And he is saying, yes, daughter, you have used the time I gave you wisely. You've used the gifts I've given to you wisely. You've used the anointings I've given to you wisely. You have literally done everything that I needed you to do, that I wanted you to do, and you have successfully done it
Hmm.
in my name for my glory.
Yeah.
That to me is successful in my
Yeah.
information. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you
No,
say?
I agree. I think that especially nowadays, you have so many people throwing that word around like this person's successful, that person's successful,
Yeah.
but nobody ever really says what that means, right? Nobody
Yeah.
ever is really like, hey, hold on, let's wait a second, define that. What does that
Yeah.
mean? Because to different people, success means different things. To some people, I would say from a financial standpoint of success, I heard a saying one time that was I can't remember who exactly said this, but they said financial success is getting to the point where more money wouldn't change how you live.
Ooh,
And I
that's
was like,
really
I,
good.
I was like, you know what? That
That's
is a good
good.
point
That's
because
good.
there are points in your life where it's like, okay, if I had more money, you can invest it to retirement, or you would
Come
be
on.
able to do this thing or that thing. But having that financial success to be like, yeah, if I had more money, it wouldn't change anything that I'm doing right now.
Exactly.
So there's financial success, there's relational success,
Good.
in,
Good
do
job.
you work through the challenges that you have with your family, with your friends?
Yep.
You
Hmm.
have other challenges, especially like romantic relationship wise.
Exactly.
Are there times where there's obviously always going to be times where you work through things with that. And then there's also, there's lots of kinds
Mhm.
of success. And so I wanted to, throw that out there. Especially so that whenever I have a conversation with somebody about success, we're always talking about the same thing.
Yes.
But
I'm
yeah,
proud
so
of
I
you.
think, yeah, success is a process. I don't think there's ever a time in life where you are just successful. Like you're just
Exactly.
done. Because that is a scary place to be in. Imagine telling God, yeah, I'm successful.
Exactly.
He's gonna look at you and be like, want to bet? He's gonna be like, hey, you know what I mean? Like that's what happened to Job in a way. Now
Come
Job wasn't
on,
prideful
talk
about it.
about it, bro. Bro,
I'm
talk
just
about it.
saying, like he
No,
wasn't.
that's
Job
why
was
I'm so
not.
happy. Yet you're
Yeah,
in this segment because that's you got it. You literally got the prophetic revelation of the segment. That's it.
yeah,
Successful son in business is literally your process. It's literally
right.
a statement of your entire life, your trajectory. And
Yeah,
I'm grateful I get to have this beautiful bite-sized piece of your life. I pray to know you a long time, but only the Lord can know how long,
right.
but the fact that you got the revelation, you're blowing my mind. Because the
Well,
fact that
it's
you understood the revelation of the
success
segment.
is a process, right? It's not a destination.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
that is that's what's big because you like with Job in if you read the first couple chapters of Job to somebody who's
Ooh,
not a believer, you'd be like, "Oh, they got this and this and this and
right,
this and this," and it was
right.
all gone. That's not fair. And Job was never prideful. I don't think there
Come
was a
on.
single moment where he was. There were times where he cursed God. His friends told him to curse God. His wife